I describe Hellblade as a mythical adventure about a Celtic warrior who's going on a vision quest into the Viking heartland, and she does have severe mental illness as a result of trauma and other things, and so the vision part of the quest is informed by her trauma. So it's sort of like a fantasy set in the real world, but it's interpreted through her mind.
This is your mission. This is your quest.
We're trying not to be too prescriptive about, right, this is the gameplay block, this is action, combat, this is the puzzle, and trying to take you more on an atmospheric journey. Like, imagine if you play this game, you play it at your home with the lights out, curtains drawn, sound up, and just kind of fully immerse yourself in this strange world, this strange and harrowing, brutal adventure that Senna is going on. So there will be moments of intense action and brutality and combat, but there'll also be scenes or levels where you're just trying to piece together like a puzzle. The more we found out about how people with psychosis think and associate things in the world, the more we started to discover ways in which we can create associations in the game, visual patterns, visual clues, imbue meaning on them, and then arrange them or put them together in different ways so that you can find a way through into the next area, or you can uncover a bit of backstory. They're not what I would call traditional puzzles, they're more experiential puzzles. It's a bit hard to explain. I mean, like, you know, there's a section in the game where you don't have your sword and you spend a good 20 minutes in almost pitch darkness and you're just wandering around trying to find your way with sound clues. That fits in that part of the story. So it's much more story-driven. In this moment, this is what she's going through, and so the gameplay changes. It started out with, let's do something that's quite combat-heavy, and as these other kind of elements started to emerge, and we put them in, and we try them out and stuff, we started to have more confidence that we could engage you without constantly asking you to fight, kill, you know, that kind of thing. Like, we started to have more confidence that you can immerse yourself in a world and in a story and in a character and go on a journey and feel like you don't have to be bombarded with action to be engaged. You know, you create a grey box level and that isn't combat based and nothing's going on, right? And you've got to have the faith that there is a reason for this section, that when we do have the atmospherics, when the trees and sway, based on your movement, and it starts to feel weird, and the voices start telling you about what's going on in your past, and the mythologies in the world, and the visuals, the audio, everything starts to come together. You have to trust that it's gonna work. Whereas maybe 10 years ago, I would see a grey box level like that and go, "Ooh, we need to have some platforming here, combat encounter there." You know, yeah, I think some of it is trust and confidence in we can make it compelling, but we don't have to just fight. I think the industry used to be in a place where people took a lot of creative risks. And I think then we went into this period of games getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And because they cost more, they try and sell as much as they can. But to sell as much as to mainstream, it means you have to make a game that satisfies everyone, you know, one size fits all. So we're getting games converging into the same thing, and it's to justify a price. And I think it's great that now we've got an indie revolution coming through, but I also more those days when you could take more risks with high-end games. So I think if we break the price point, make games cheaper for players and to develop, we can still make AAA-looking games, but do it cheaper. So one thing I say early on about Hellblade is, what if we'd made a game that was AAA in quality, half the size, half the price, something like that, and took a creative risk? Because now we don't need to sell 2 million, 3 million. We can find our niche, and in this case, our niche is people who like story-driven adventures.